pylyzer is a static code analyzer and language server for Python. The new AI craze may have some people considering moving to the Bay Area. The Bay Area is a place with a lot of knowledge and a culture around risk that can be valuable for founders and people who want to work in tech. While people can still find these things elsewhere, the network of companies, developers, and investors is unparalleled. People's opportunities for job search, networking, and career growth are significantly higher by being where the ecosystem is concentrated. The primary value of GPT is that it massively lowers the barrier to machine learning features for startups. Meta's goal for Threads is to build something Twitter-like, but for a billion users, so its app is being designed for users who mostly lurk, comment, and like and don't want to understand how any of it works. Tesla's full self-driving, FSD, is now $99 a month. The company is currently deploying FSD v12, a new version fully powered by AI that is supposed to be a significant advancement compared to previous versions. Tesla dealers were recently mandated to provide FSD demo drives for all new deliveries. Existing owners in North America are able to receive a 1-month free trial of the system. Project Red is a facility that uses geothermal energy to power a local power grid in Nevada. The facility pumps water thousands of feet into the ground, where it is heated by the Earth's super hot core, and then sucks the heated water back up to power generators. It leverages techniques from the oil and gas industry to improve reliability and cost efficiency and make geothermal power possible in many more locations. This article looks at how the facility works and the field of geothermal energy in general, including other projects and attempts at building the technology. Grok 1.5 volts is capable of processing things seen in documents, diagrams, charts, screenshots, and photographs. This article contains 7 lessons learned by Truss, a startup that released a few LLM-heavy features over the last 6 months, that cover how to improve prompting, tooling and optimal usage, GPT's limitations, and more. The startup exclusively deals with text using a combination of GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. While GPT is useful, the technology is still in its early days and probably won't result in everyone losing their jobs. It mostly lowers the barrier of entry to ML AI that was previously only available to Google. Max Space wants to launch expandable stadium-sized habitats into Earth's orbit by the end of the decade. It has designed habitats that minimize the mass and volume of the payload required to be launched into space, providing people with room to live both in space and on other planets or moons. The company plans to launch the scalable habitats on SpaceX's rockets in 2027 and 2030. It will launch its first off-Earth test in 2 years. Researchers Leopold Aschenbrenner and Pavel Ismailov, who worked on OpenAI's safety team, were fired for leaking company secrets. PostgreSQL Index Advisor is a PostgreSQL extension for recommending indexes to improve query performance. It supports generic parameters and materialized views and can identify tables and columns obfuscated by views. Exponential growth can get out of control really quickly. The scaling law hypothesis says that AI systems are on a growth curve where their capabilities will continually grow exponentially as long as we keep feeding in more data and computing power. This interview with Dario Amodei, who led the team at OpenAI that created GPT-2 and GPT-3 before leaving OpenAI to co-found Anthropic where he is now CEO, discusses growth in AI, how AI is being adopted by society, the amount of energy the technology consumes and how to mitigate its effects on the planet, and much more. Airchat is similar to other social media apps except that the posts and replies are audio recordings. A recent change to Apple's App Store review guidelines means that a rule that effectively banned the submission of console and classic game emulators for iOS and iPadOS has been reversed. The first wave of game emulators have now made their way to the App Store. EMU64XL is a Commodore 64 emulator and iGBA is a Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color emulator. Both are free to download without any in-app purchases. Under Apple's rule changes, emulators still have to filter objectionable content, follow all privacy guidelines, and not share data or privacy permissions with other software, but it is unclear how some of the rules will be enforced.